Hi, this is Dr. Kelly Donohoe from at Dr. Kelly Donohoe and at Magnolia Psychological. Today, I want to talk about things we can do to dream. So, two games that I want to talk about that you can play with all the people in your life that are based on therapeutic concepts that we use in therapy, but that I've altered a little bit so that we can do some awesome dreaming. And here's why. So, hope for the future, dreaming, looking towards the future, right? It's good to live in the present moment, but it's also extremely important and mentally healthy to have future plans and to make plans, right? Problem slash difficulty. Right now, things are pretty uncertain, so it's hard to say, let's make a plan for June or July or August or September because we just don't know exactly what's going to happen, and everybody wants to be safe and follow the rules and keep other people safe. So what can we do to look towards the future? Now, again, this will work with everybody, kids. It's like a fun thing. If you're doing Zoom family night or you're all together, everybody needs some positive things to do. So I'm going to give you two games. The first, I like to call so the first game I like to call the Imagine It game. So no rules here. You don't pick a date, but you are allowed to imagine anything and everything you want to do in the future, right? So you can say like, wow, I'd really like to take that vacation. It can be gigantic things like let's go to the moon or, you know, um, when this is all over, what are the things we want to do to change our life? So it's Imagine a game. It's kind of like the rules for brainstorming. Nothing is off the table, no poo-pooing it, just feel good, dream, 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 right? And who knows? Because dreams are seeds that you plant and then they turn into plans and goals, right? So throw it out to the universe, let it be. So it's called Imagine It. It's a fun game that you can play. The second game that is actually my maybe all-time favorite therapeutic tool is called Magic Wand. Here's how Magic Wand works. So Magic Wand is when you say, imagine that we wave a magic wand, and when you wake up in the morning, you can change the timeline, by the way. It can be, I'm sorry, I was interrupted for a moment by that tall, sleepy person. Okay, so the second game again is called Magic Wand, and you can decide the timeline that you want to use. So often in therapy, I like to say, what if you could wave a magic wand and you woke up tomorrow and everything was exactly the way you want it to be? What would that look like? It's not my idea, actually. There was a man named Steve DeSager, I think is how you say his name. You can Google him and you'll find it. But he came up with that idea, solution-focused therapy, really cool. Anyway, it's a cool technique that you can use in your family, right? So whether it's tomorrow or you pick a date in the future or next year, if you could wave a magic wand, what would it look like? What would our life look like? What would your day look like? And you are going to find out things about your loved ones and your family members, friends that maybe you didn't know, deep desires that they have. Now, people will say things that really will get you, like, for kids, like, well, I'll be at school with my friends. It's not always grandiose things. It's what you want, deep things that you want. And then this is a great way to get more intimate and to find out more about each other, but also let each other say what you really want and need, right? Because you find out a lot about what people are wishing for. So the games are slightly different. I hope you can see. So Imagine It is like, whoa. And Magic Wand can be too, but it tends to bring out for people the things that they want to do next. I want to remind you that this is a time to rewrite what you're doing. So if things aren't, this time out has been sort of a respite for you, or although I hesitate to use that word because it's kind of terrible for a lot of people, but a time for you to see what your life was like and to get some perspective and to think how you might want things to be different. Well, that's great because now's the time to think about what kind of changes you'd like to make and start talking about them now because we don't know how much longer this is going to last. So it's time to think about those things. So whether you're playing Imagine It or Magic Wand game, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, right? You can change up the timeline. Is it tomorrow? Is it whatever? Whatever works for you and your people. And then the second thing that you can do is sometimes it's fun to write them down. You can put them on a piece of paper or whatever, put them in a hat, and then guess who said what, right? So, that can be really fun. And it's a way to get your whole group involved. Now, a lot of times teenagers will be like, I don't want to. But generally, people like to be able to talk. And it's a way to talk about what's deep and what's going on. Sort of takes the pressure off, though, from a regular conversation. Like you're sitting on the couch and they're sitting on the couch, and then you try to say, like, hey, what are you really thinking and feeling about this quarantine experience? That doesn't work as well with kids and people in general as framing it in a different way. It takes some of the heat off of it, and you can get to the same place, but without the awkwardness. Yay. So again, the two games are Imagine It and Magic Wand, and have fun with that. And if you want to, in the comments, you can put what your reactions were, if it works for you guys, how it's going, what you might have found out, and just an opportunity to both gain some joy, some hope, and also to grow some intimacy with the people you love and care about in your life. Yeah. So happy dreaming and take care, be safe, and let's just keep doing what we're doing.